Hello and welcome to another update video about Natgas. So Natgas is still in the support region. There is not so much to add to previous updates. We are still in a situation in which the Natgas price can certainly push higher in the coming weeks. The first scenario, the most imminent bullish scenario, is currently getting tested, because in this scenario, obviously as an ending diagonal, we're basically currently in the third wave, and in the third wave we're dealing with an ABC structure in this diagonal, and we are in the C wave, and here we have a 1-2-1-2 setup followed by a third wave, and we're now likely, well, I shouldn't say we're likely in the fourth. That's currently the scenario I'm watching. The thing is, it has become less likely now, obviously, because the $3.04 level, the 50% retracement, one of the support levels I gave you, has now been reached basically, and honestly this starts to look like a 5-wave move to the downside here, and the $3.04 level is currently being tested. Below that level I cannot really call that a wave 4 anymore. It's just too low. So we have to consider alternatives. So what would happen if we break below the magical $3.04 level now? I just make that a little smaller here just to indicate this is key bullish support. It can always turn around at an instant, but would need to do it now. So this scenario is getting less likely. There is still another scenario in which I would allow it to go down to the second, just draw that slightly here. Yeah, so I think the Fibs shifted for some reason. Just see that right now. So it's more like $3.01, but it doesn't change much. So I would still allow it to come down a little lower, to potentially still turn bullish, of course. So just breaking micro support doesn't mean we are flipping towards a more directly bearish scenario. It would certainly add weight to the idea that maybe all of this wave 4 correction is already finished. Remember that the bigger picture, the bigger picture still would suggest another lower low below the March lows or April lows is coming. So yeah, it's the April lows, targeting round about $1.50. The question is, when do we start? When do we go there? So in the primary scenario, we could do that from here, but ideally we go a little higher before we come down to make those new lows. Again, there's also nothing guaranteed. The overall Natgas decline into this year was deep enough to complete the entire correction, but this price action just doesn't convince me. So this is still possible, but I would not, just to break below $3 will not make this short-term bullish scenario invalid. Okay, it will again introduce some more choppy price action. But what I would really like to avoid is obviously a break below the price channel. So a break below the ascending price channel to the downside, followed by a break below $2.14. All of these steps would add weight to a more bearish, short-term bearish stance. So obviously, what else could it be? I'm counting this as a third wave up, potentially fourth wave down. Could this be a 1-2 setup? Yeah, but it's getting unlikely. Also, the entire, it's possible. Thought about a few scenarios. It is technically possible that the move off the recent lows here, obviously, that this was basically a 1-2 setup, but I don't really, it doesn't really look great. It doesn't really look great, and also the context is a bit strange. Yeah, I would like to avoid that, really. So, I would then have to say it started from here somehow. Probably the first wave of a diagonal and a very complex wave count. But I would have to probably go with it, and I will then change the chart accordingly. If we break below that $3.01 level, sorry, it's now $3.01. They must have shifted slightly. If we break below that level, then I would have to go with that as bullish potential still, But at the moment there is zero bullishness here in the short term. So in terms of lower support areas that might still be relevant, I would only really want to add the 78.6 Fib level, but that would not be support for the wave 4. that would be support for a wave 2. But below $2.75, a sustained break below that level would make a break to the downside of the price channel much less likely. So this might be a wave 2 then, or something more bearish. I mean, again, you know, it could be that this wave 4 topped here. We have moved up high enough into the target range to make that a potential option. If a wave 4 topped here, then we are probably already coming down in this fifth wave to the downside. That might take us to round about, yeah, maybe $1.50. Yeah, so it's something to observe. And it's just thinking, you know, how would this be counted? I mean, that's at the moment we only have 3 waves down. I would probably have to count a truncation in here, and then maybe a 1-2 setup. This would be a third, 4, 5. Yeah, so, you know, if we break below $3.01, it would certainly reduce the likelihood of direct continuation to the downside. Then we can watch the $2.75 level and the ascending trend line. Only below that level, I would probably get bearish. Until then, I would give it a chance. Now, when do we, you know, what's the pivot? What's the level that needs to be broken to the upside to have a strong perspective that this downward move is over? So a break above $3.25 will be early indication. That's the 50% retracement level. That will be a first indication that some kind of a low has been struck. And a break above $3.38 will add weight to the idea that the wave 5 has already started, wave 5 of 3, and that really a more lasting low has been put in place. They are the levels I'm watching. So really now, retrace to the key pivot here. Already deeper than ideal for a wave 4, but still valid. But below the 50% FIB level, I cannot really justify this anymore as a wave 4. And then again, I gave you the alternative support areas lower. The main pivots that we have to watch then, $2.75 is the key level, and then the ascending trend line. Yeah, that's my update about Natgas. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, if you're interested in the S&P 500, check out our S&P and stock service. You can find the link in the description. Here we have daily update videos and written updates for the S&P 500, also intraday, and several updates about stocks and shares. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.